Vevor sent me an anvil in the post. Isn't that great? A blue one. Well, actually they sent me two, but only one survived the transport. As you can see from the packaging, that's not too surprising. But that's the only bad thing about this anvil. Apart from the packaging, it seems to be an excellent thing. I'm no expert, but it's certainly the best anvil I've ever owned. Thanks very much, Vevor. Obviously, I had to try it out immediately, so I set it up on this old lump of wood, which is a bit soft, but it might be heavy enough. Incidentally, if you use channel iron like this for your hold downs, then I suggest you cut notches in one end, because then they hold the corners really well. That dull ringing noise is an indicator that it's held firmly. If it's a high-pitched ring, then it's too loose, apparently. Right then, excellent. Anvil fixed down, how exciting. Now to make something on it. I moved my homemade forge inside too. There's room in here now that the sheep have moved up to the other shed. As you can see, it's a very simple forge. I made it from an old gas bottle years ago. There's a hole in the bottom that runs down inside this curved leg. This is a piece of vacuum cleaner hose, and that goes into a wooden box which has a flap door. That's a blower for bouncy castles that I found on the market. It blows into the box, and the flap controls how much air escapes and how much goes up the pipe. I lined it with lumpy bits of metal in there too, so the forge itself doesn't get burnt out too soon. Obviously it's all suffered from rust, as everything else does here, but it's fine, I think. Yep. Time to light it. Now I'm trying out some of the charcoal I made recently. It's been drying out in the bottom of the range for the last week, but I still had to finish it off in the microwave oven. Activated charcoal holds onto water really well. Ah, now isn't that lovely? And without that nasty caustic smell you get with coal. So, what shall I make with this fire and a hammer and my new anvil? Well, there is something I need urgently. It's a labelling spike for the garlic. It's pretty much a large needle mounted onto a board. I have been using a sharpened nail, but it's a bit short. So I found a piece of 5mm steel and rough cut the end with an angle grinder and popped it into the forge. Now, this is a very small piece of steel really, and it would be easy to overheat it in a coal forge and basically burn it away. So it would be interesting to see what happens with the charcoal. Look at that. I really like this charcoal, and it's so responsive. Look, this is how quickly it picks up when I close the flap on the box. And it's hot, seriously hot. And of course charcoal costs nothing, you make it yourself. Altogether pretty good, I think. And as soon as the paper and the wood have gone, there's very little smoke. Of course I could do with some blacksmith's tools. I'll have to look on the market again next time I'm down there. Or I could make some, I suppose, if I only had the time. Now I could drill holes for the screws, but I think I should try out the hardy hole in the anvil, don't you? I'm using a centre punch as a swage, not very well obviously, but still. Of course this isn't supposed to be a video on blacksmithing because I'm not very good at it. But then, I haven't had an anvil up until now, so it's not surprising. So we'll just skip on a bit. I used the horn and the hardy hole on the anvil to bend the needle. And then I gave it one final heating before dropping it into the oil to finish it. And then I cut a slot on one side, that's for the string to catch in. And there it is. It might not look like much, but when you have literally thousands of garlic to thread, then you need something that works well every time. Using your own charcoal in a homemade forge to knock red-hot metal into something useful is extremely satisfying. And as for the anvil, well, it's great. Seriously. Of course it could be bigger, but for most jobs I do, this is fine. In fact, it's just the right size. And for the price, it's excellent value, surely. Check out the link in the description, and there might even be a discount code for you too. We'll see. And you don't have to make garlic spikes on your anvil. You can make all sorts of things, apparently. So show me what you come up with.